Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello again. So in the earlier module, we just discussed the various provisions mentioned in the TRIPS agreement related to the competition law, and how how the member states are free to adopt their own measures for prevention of this anti-competitive behavior. So, continuing that module, in today's class we will just take an example of this Microsoft case, and where the Microsoft has put an argument related to this TRIPS agreement and competition policy, how the European Court of First Instance has given its point of view. So, we have already dealt with the cases. To again re-emphasize, so the European Court of First Instance, that CFI, in the Microsoft versus Commission, which was given, the decision was given in 2007, and it was a landmark decision dealing with the interaction between the competition law and intellectual property rights. And this is one of the first judgment given by a court of the World Trade Organization member, which invoked the competition rules in the agreement of the trade related aspect of the intellectual property rights. So, this case becomes very important, being the first where the WTO member has invoked the competition rules, and again it is like TRIPS provisions has been raised as one of the objections or argument from the Microsoft side. So, going to the just facts of the cases again, the European Commission has held guilty found Microsoft to be guilty of two anti-competitive practices. First, like the abuse of dominant position, and second was the tying of the product. The Microsoft appealed the Court of First Instance, CFI, claiming that it had not violated any provisions of the Article 82 of European Commission, and nor it had abused the dominant position. So, basically by refusing the license for the interoperability information to its computer, it is not an abuse of dominant position, and the bundling of the Windows Media Player with the Windows client PC operating system is also not a part of the tying. And further, the Microsoft contended that the compulsory licensing and the unbundling demands which are imposed on the Microsoft as remedy for the two alleged abuse were incompatible with the TRIPS agreement. So, after being held guilty by European Commission, the Commission has asked for compulsory licensing as well as the unbundling of the that Windows Media Player with the client PC. So, as per Microsoft, these decisions were incompatible with the TRIPS agreement. Microsoft has appealed the case to the CFI, but the CFI has reaffirmed the European Court of Justice decision and its previous ruling that a firm holding a dominant position has a special responsibility, and irrespective of this cause of this position, it is not allowed its conduct to impair the genuine distorted competition on the common market. So, when a firm is holding a dominant position by virtue of its intellectual property, it has a special responsibility, and it is not allowed to distort the competition in the market. So, now again the court has looked into the MASIL as well as the IMS health case, and looked into the four-pronged test which has to be confirmed to find whether there is abuse of dominant position or not. So, here the based on this IMS as well as the MASIL judgment, the Court of First Instance contended that in this case the Microsoft's interoperability information was indispensable for the non-Microsoft group of server operating systems to be capable of interpreting with the Windows domain architecture. So, for the downstream operating of the other competitors or the players, the Microsoft interoperability information was needed. So, it is kind of stopping the downstream market to operate and stopping the competition thereby. Again, the refusal to license entail the risk of elimination of all competition in the server operating market. So, if the Microsoft is not giving the license, then no one can operate in the similar market by the same interoperability information. There may be different set of market for other operating system, but with this Microsoft, like those cannot work with the Microsoft. So, again it is kind of eliminating the competition. Third, the refusal prevented the appearance of the new product incorporating the genuine technical development as mere clone product for which there is a potential consumer demand. So, by denial of this license, there will be no new product formation for which there is a consumer demand, and there is no objective reasons to justify this kind of refusal of the license. So, all the 4 tests based on this MAGIL and the IMS decision were tested on the Microsoft case, and Microsoft has failed to satisfy the court with respect to all these 4 questions, and it was held that Microsoft was a dominant player in the market, and by refusing the license or by refusing to provide the interoperability information, Microsoft has abused the dominant position. And with respect to the tying, the again CFI agreed with the commissions that the tying infringes the Article 82 of the European Union as the 5 cumulative requirement has been met. So, again to decide whether a tying is like will be anti-competitive or not, there are 5 tests for that, and here also the 5 requirements has been met. First, the tying and the tied goods are 2 separate products. So, the Windows Media Player and the interoperability, these are 2 separate Windows operating system were 2 separate products that were tied. So, it is not like related to each other, and that is why it is a kind of anti-competitive practice. Again, the undertaking concerned in the concerned is dominant in the tying product market. Windows Media Player, like Microsoft, was dominant for that market, more than 38 or 40% shares were held by them. Again, the undertaking concerned does not give consumer the choice of obtaining the tying product without the tied product. So, no one was able to get the Windows Media Player without obtaining the Windows operating system, and for that reason the tying and forecloses the competition, like it has the power for the foreclosure of the competition, and again this tying was not objectively justified. So, based on this test, like the 4-prong test for the abuse of dominant position and this 5 test for the tying product or tying activity, the court of first instance concluded that the Microsoft has committed 2 types of abusive conduct, each incompatible with the Article 82 of the European Commission. So, this is just a fact background where we have already seen in the earlier cases also. So, here here Microsoft has again argued that again these and it was given the thing that compulsory licensing has to be issued for the interoperability information, as well as it has asked to sell the product separately. So, Microsoft alleged that this is against or incompatible with the TRIPS provision. So, now coming to the provisions in the TRIPS agreement, how a member country can adopt the TRIPS provision, or how a member country can interpret the TRIPS provision, there are 2 ways, there are 2 approaches for that. First one being the monist approach, and second one is known as the dualist approach. So, the country with a monist approach, particularly it is followed by most of the country where the civil law traditions has been followed. Here what happens, the international agreements are incorporated directly to the domestic laws, that is they are self executing in nature. So, suppose there is a certain provisions in the international law that is directly been taken from there and inserted into the domestic law, and whenever the case will be dealt, it will be self executing in nature. Second one is the dualist approach. So, in a country with a dualist approach, particularly for the most of the common law countries, the international agreements become national law only after passing further national legislation. That is, they are not recognized as the self executing. So, they have to pass again second set of legislation to adopt those things. Those are there in the international legislation. Particularly countries like United States adopt this dualist approach. Also, to some extent the European Union also adopts the dualist approach, but again the case of the European Union, the member countries or the national the member countries are particularly they may adopt the monist approach, but when it comes to the European Union, it is particularly the dualist approach which the European Commission European Union adopts. And regarding this Microsoft versus Commission, and based on this argument on that the TRIPS agreement does not have a direct effect on the community level, the court of first instance held that the TRIPS agreement does not prevail over the primary community law. WTO agreements are not in principle among the rules in the light of which the community judicature is to review the legality of measures adopted by the community institutions. It is only where the community has intended to implement a particular obligation assumed under the WTO, or where the community measures refers expressly to specific provisions of the WTO agreement, that the community judicature must review the legality of the community measures in question in the light of the WTO rules. The circumstances of this present case clearly do not correspond with either of these two situations. So, here the court had made clear that the TRIPS agreement, it is not above the primary community law. So, community law, like it is basically it has taken the member countries has taken their taken the provisions as mentioned in the WTO agreement to judge whether any practices will be anti-competitive or not, and it is the prerogation or it is the like member country has the power to decide what may be considered as an anti-competitive behavior and what can be the punishment for that or what can be the remedial measure for that, how the competition may be restored, as we have seen in the article 8.2 or 31K, like the competition has to be restored again in the market. So, basically the member country has the power, particularly in this case the European Commission has the European Union or European Community has the power to adjudicate its own decision, and the WTO rules are set of rules are there, but it is not compulsory on the part of a member country or the European Union in this case to directly adopt or follow the WTO rules. It has taken the principles or provisions of the taken into consideration the provisions as specified in the WTO agreement, but again it is with respect to the domestic it is on the part of these member countries how to adopt the specific legislation. So, the argument that the compulsory licensing or the untying of this product is not compatible with the TRIPS agreement did not hold ground in this case. So, this is one of the important case where like for the first time, because it was decision was given by a WTO member country and the TRIPS provisions was invoked. So, this becomes very important in that respect, and the provisions of the anti-competitive practices again in the TRIPS agreement becomes important for like more for the developing nations, as like these provisions were incorporated by the concerns raised by the developing nation, because the developed country has more IP power and they may create a monopolistic situation, or they may refuse to transfer the licensing they may refuse for technology transfer of such IP in question. So, to prevent them like these provisions were adopted. So, the member countries, and because now most of the member countries have adopted the competition law provision, but when it was incorporated like out of the 40 members had only a competition law provision. So, it has become important, but again more guidelines or more specific guidelines has to be given, so that those countries which have not adhered or which has not formulated their competition policy may also adopt those, or those which have competition policy competition law in place also take specific remedial measures for any action that may arise in the course of international trade related to intellectual property rights. So, coming back to these cases, the regarding this unbundling remedy, the Court of Federal Instance reiterated that Microsoft could not rely on the TRIPS agreement to support its claim because the lack of the direct effect. And the CFI further stated that in any event, there is nothing in this provision of the TRIPS agreement to prevent the competition authorities of the member of the WTO from imposing remedies which limit or regulate the exploitation of the IPR held by an undertaking in a dominant position. So, it is the authority of the, it is the the member countries or the country where the problem has been arisen, the problem is has taken place, like it has the power to impose remedial measures. So, nothing in the TRIPS, there is nothing in the TRIPS agreement that may stop the member country from taking remedial measures. Because the member countries are in a better position to determine what is better for their country and how the anti-competitive behavior can be stopped and competition can be restored in this system. So, this is all about the provisions of the intellectual like TRIPS agreement and competition law provisions. So, so I hope with this course we have got a brief idea about how competition law and intellectual property are related, at what point of at what point we may consider these are complementary to each other or support each other and required for the proper or smooth functioning of this both IPR. So, thank you for being with us. See you again. Thank you.